Hi everyone. I wanted to do two videos and I will split them and put them into two different uploads here for you. One will be on my hearing aids, this one, and then the next one will be on my hair. So if you are more interested in my hair, shoot on over to that video that I have uploaded for you. If you are more interested in my hearing aids, stay on this one. So just thought I'd give you a heads up. I had some questions on my hearing aids, so I wanted to do a brief question and answer. Um, I also wanted to just touch base on how things are doing with my hearing aids. Um, Really, they've been awesome. I don't have hardly any complaints about them. I can't even feel them when I wear them, which is good and bad. I have gotten in the shower now twice while wearing my hearing aids. Luckily, not on days that I'm washing my hair or that I realized quickly enough that I took them out. But yeah, that's kind of hilarious. And I got in the shower and then I'm like, this sounds louder than usual. Oh, yeah, I need to take those out because they're not waterproof. I've also gotten ready for bed and I'm all ready to get into bed and then I realize I haven't taken them out. So that is awesome to me that I cannot feel them whatsoever. And most of the time I forget that I'm wearing them, except for certain situations, which I'll kind of touch base on in the questions. But yeah, really great. And they work pretty well for what I need them for. I'll go on quickly to the questions. I know you don't want to watch a 10-minute video of me rambling. So, which version do I have? I have the Phonak Audio Spice. I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, correct me. That's fine. And I did not go for the H2O version. I should have maybe if I'm getting into the shower with them still on. That would be nice to have a waterproof set. But I just went for the basic version of that. Somebody asked me about, I have a list over here, I'm a list maker. Somebody asked me about noisy places like restaurants and my experience with that. I can't give you a direct answer on that, unfortunately. It really depends on the acoustics of the restaurant. If it's a space that sound bounces everywhere, or if it's an environment where there's a lot of talking and maybe the music's playing really loud, it's not the best. And I sometimes prefer just to turn them off and deal with it the way I'm used to dealing with it. It really just depends. I've been to a really busy restaurant and have had no problem hearing anyone on this side and like the waiter behind me on this side. And then, like, I had a night where I went to a restaurant, it was fine. Went to a dessert bar afterwards and it was awful and I couldn't hear anyone and it was just a little frustrating, but there are still some limitations to hearing aid technology. It's not going to filter out everything, and especially in those types of environments. So it's a little bit hit or miss with that still, though not as bad as the first couple sets that I've had that just amplify everything and it's not very fun. But sometimes I still prefer to be deaf and I'll just turn them off. Battery life, it depends, again, and I've never had anything so measurable as this, but since the batteries are so small, I use 312 batteries. The pack that I got from my audiologist lasted about just exactly a week, about 7 days. And it's a generic set in the sense that there's no branding on it other than the audiologist's information. Then when I ran out of those, I went to Walgreens and I bought just the cheapest Walgreens brand. They last 3 to 4 days, but they're the cheapest option. So you just kind of have to weigh the pros and cons on that. And I wouldn't say cheapest option, but at Walgreens, cheapest option. Anyway, so 3 to 4 days is pretty short. Like I put mine in Saturday and they're already dead. They just went dead about 5 minutes before I made this video. So yeah, I don't know. It just depends on what you want. I recommend keeping an extra set always in your purse or your bag, just so you always have them, especially if you're brand new to hearing aids and you don't know yet how long they last. I'm wondering if you're interested, I'll keep a list of the different brands that I try and the length of time. And that's completely up to you if you want me to make a video on that in the future. But so far, my experience has been 4 to 7 days. So 4 to 7 days is a short amount of time. I try to look at it as filling up your gas tank weekly or every 2 weeks. It is annoying, but you have to do it. And with the technology now, they are communicating nonstop. So you do have that with the higher end, higher technology, and smaller. You know, it's smaller, so the battery is going to be smaller. One thing I do definitely recommend is to, whenever you take out your batteries, or sorry, excuse me, whenever you take off your hearing aids, see that here, always unlatch the battery just a little bit. You don't have to do it all the way, but I mean, just enough so that it's completely unplugged. This will help with your battery life. It will also help keep that compartment dry. So if it gets damp and then you keep it shut, even when you're not using it, it could cause the battery to corrode, which is what happened to my last set. I stopped using them out of frustration and left them sitting with the battery inside for a month or two, and then when I went to go try them again, it had corroded and broke the hearing aid. So yeah, so just get in the habit of doing that to both when you take them off. Jonathan asked, should you be able to hear yourself coming through the aid when talking? He said he has it on a specific setting. The louder it goes, the more background noise comes in. So he's asking if it will filter it. I have two responses to that. The first is that yes, you will hear your voice coming through, and yes, it will sound weird the first couple weeks that you use your hearing aids. Mine especially pick up more enunciation from my words. So my S's and T's and all of that, I hear that more distinctly. And that's, yeah, I agree. That's weird and it's kind of unsettling and hard to get used to. Your brain will adjust to a lot of the noises that you hear at first. So at first, I heard my voice really loud. I also heard rustling, papers, extra noises at work, pen clicking, tapping. Things were just a lot more brought to the forefront and was I heard it. So, but your brain will learn how to filter some of that out and get used to and make adjustments within your ears, which is amazing. So just give it a good try, and if it's really not working well for you, or it's too loud and it's painful, or it's distracting, just go back and communicate that to your audiologist, and they might be able to tweak some things. Two more questions. How long did I have my old set, and was it pretty resilient before I got my new set? I had my old set 4 to 5 years before they broke. I would say they were pretty resilient. If I had not left them sitting for a month or two and let the battery in there, they would probably had a longer lifespan. But that one broke, and then it was going to be maybe $500 to fix it, so that's where I decided to just trade them in and get a new set instead. Last question, why did I choose CROS over Transear? To be honest, I was not familiar with Transear at all. I had never read about it or heard about it. I think it's really exciting, and it's really neat that more things are becoming available for people with single-sided deafness. I also just read about a new implant that's different from the cochlear implant. I think it's called Esteem. I'll have to look that up. Which is really exciting because it would be totally waterproof. It would feel more natural, hear more naturally. So it's really great that the technology is moving that direction. I think for me, one, I was doing a trade-in, so the cost came into play there for me. And two, I've always used hearing aids, so that's what I'm used to. So I think my audiologist most likely made that decision for me and kept me with a system that I'm used to. Okay, so that's all of the questions. If you have any more or you want more clarification on anything, just comment down below. Have a great day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.